Mr. Wilson, we're returning from a break now, and I just want to remind you you're still under oath. And at this point, I'm going to turn your attention to May 21st, 2012. On that date, you are aware, of course, that there was a car accident and that the purpose of this deposition relates to that and the pending lawsuit, correct?
Yes.
Okay. According to the police report, it looks like the accident took place at around 3:35 p.m. Does that sound about right to you?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Where were you before the accident?
I was, I don't know if I was heading to the Girl Scout store.
Okay. And that's just down the block from where you work, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you're coming from work, is that the auto house?
Yes, the employer,
Okay.
yes.
And correct if I'm wrong, that's at Rand, I believe, just south of Lake Cook, Rand and Hicks, Route 12?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what was the route you took to get to the Girl Scout store?
Let's see. Leaving there, took a right. Went down 92nd, took a left on the 3rd, and I think it's just a few blocks down from there.
In total, probably less than a mile, correct?
Yeah, a little more than a mile, but yeah, but in there.
And as you were driving there, are you familiar with the area?
Yeah.
Is it pretty much a corporate industrial, light industrial sort of area?
Yep.
Okay. Well, with industrial buildings, things like that, were there shopping centers nearby?
Yes.
Okay. Now, are you familiar with that area generally because you work there?
Yes.
Okay.
This is not my normal route, but yeah, I go around that area.
Are you familiar with the street called Lakeview?
Yes.
Okay. Now, is Lakeview an east-west street?
Not sure. Not sure about that.
Okay. But is it fair to say, though, that you know where the intersection of Fairway and Lakeview is?
Yes.
Okay. But fair to say you also don't know which street runs north-south and which one runs east-west?
Not exactly from there.
Okay, fair
I'd
enough.
say it's an east-west, but I don't know which one goes which direction.
Regardless of the street name, do you know which direction you were going?
Left.
Directionally, I mean.
I don't know.
Okay. If I told you that you were heading south, would you have any reason to disagree with me?
I would. No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
If I looked at a map, I guess I could figure it out.
Okay. As you were heading south, for purposes of the deposition, what do you recall seeing?
Shopping center, McDonald's. That's really about it. On that day, or just in
on that day at the time prior to the incident?
I don't recall really. Just the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've had a chance to review your interrogatory answers, and as the matter was going forward, I reviewed them before this deposition, and you indicated that you were at a stoplight. There was 2 lanes going in either direction. It was sort of a main thoroughfare, and you were stopped in the front row in the right-hand lane at the red light. Is that fair to refresh your recollection?
Right-hand side. Yeah. Yeah, looking at the light.
Okay. Had you had an opportunity to review the police report and the diagram related to that before this deposition?
Briefly, I did, yes.
Now, what other documents did you review prior to going forward today on this deposition?
That's all I really looked at.
Okay. So take me through this matter now. You're at the red light, you're in the front, and the light turns green. What happens next?
Apparently I go south. I turn right and go south. Is that right? Or no? Yeah. The street I'm on is going east and west. So yeah, I think I turn right and go south.
Okay. And at that time, what happened next?
While I was heading towards the Scout store, I think I got a phone call. That's really about all I can recollect.
So when you came to the next street and you came to the stoplight, you were still on the phone. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. I don't think it lasted too long. I think my wife was reminding me of what I needed to pick up at the store.
Okay. And your claim in the lawsuit is that at that point there was a collision which you were involved in while stopped at the red light. Fair?
Yes.
How long had you been stopped at that red light before the collision?
Probably a few seconds. I think it just came to a gradual stop, and then that's when it occurred.
What was the weather like that day?
I think it was just overcast, regular day.
And do you know how warm it was that day?
I have no idea.
Okay. Do you know what day of the week it was?
I think it was it would have been, I don't know. I think it was Tuesday.
Okay. And do you remember what cars were on either side of you? What type of cars, what color they were, anything about the situation you were involved in?
Don't remember anything about any of those people. Like, most of them took off after it happened.
Now, the accident took place in front of you. There was involving the cars that were going north-south through the green lights as you were sitting at the red. Is that fair to say that's the beginning of the collision?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a red light.
And it's your testimony that you were just sitting there and that one of the cars, I believe it was a Jeep Cherokee, came careening out of the middle of the crash and then plowed into your car. Is that fair?
Yeah, I don't know where they came from, but yeah, they hit me while I was sitting there. Yes.
Do you remember the colors? You've indicated you were sitting at a red light, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember what their color was in the intersection as the two cars passed in front of you?
I couldn't see the light from where I was at.
So it's your testimony you could not see the lights of the lanes going past you?
Well, or I couldn't, or I didn't notice. I mean, I may not have.
See, my question is, were the left-turning car trying to jump a green? Was the left-turning car turning in the red and the other car was coming through the red? What I'm trying to get from you as an individual who witnessed this accident was the condition of the lane control for each party as they were coming through that intersection.
Timing wise, I think the oncoming guy probably ran the red. But my light was still green, or still red, so it hadn't turned yet. So I don't know. I think he would have had an arrow, probably still red, or no, he would have been green. He would have been green coming in. Yeah.
So is it fair for me to say then, I mean, to the best of your recollection, if you don't remember the actual light sequence that was being faced by the two drivers going through the intersection, your sense was that the car that was trying to make the turn was trying to complete the turn at a time when the oncoming traffic should have been stopped by its own red?
Yeah, that seems to be the more lot, yeah.
Okay.
You good?
Nothing,
Okay.
nothing makes any sense.
Job, you were like,
It sounded like a real
it did. Your wife